National Student Clearinghouse provides a high school level report and a state level report. As soon as we shared that information with the districts, the district leaders were like, wait a second, we really need a district level report. We like to know how we're doing compared to the state. And every one of our high schools is going to want to know where they've compared to the district. And so we worked inside, like internally, we had some really great analysts and quantitative methodologists that we were able to have inside DPI that created our own district level data files. And so once we had that data in hand, we then made some commitments to get out in the field and do some strategic data sessions where we were helping districts look at their data for the first time, but then think about were there ways they could connect or identify student groups as priorities that maybe they needed to focus post-secondary attainment interventions on, and really work with them to think about where they could find evidence-based practices to target those student groups.
Through these in-person meetings, district administrators were able to learn how the data were compiled, and then, with the support of a data expert from the Office of Learning Recovery and Acceleration, went deeper into the data by considering what the data said about their school's performance.
It's one thing to have the data, but we have to, as school counselors, when we're delivering comprehensive school counseling programs, we influence what happens with the data. And so we can receive data like the National Student Clearinghouse data set. The data informs the work that we do and who we are doing it with. It informs structures that are in our schools. It informs initiatives that are in our schools. But we can impact that data. So if we don't take time to understand that data, to unpack it, to make sure that we are being intentional with underrepresented populations, then those students, those families won't have access. So we're kind of like the conduit to that data. So we need to make sure that there's a willingness to understand the data that's coming to us and knowing how to work and manipulate the data for students to be able to maximize the opportunities that are before them. We don't want to be a barrier or hindrance by having this data and not sharing the data and not doing the necessary steps with the data. So we have to make sure that we stay relevant and make sure that we stay abreast of the trends based on the story that the data is telling us.
North Carolina's strong relationships with districts support the effective use of post-secondary outcomes data to identify and enhance students' post-secondary pathway. For more information about North Carolina's work with post-secondary pathways data, please see our companion document. Additionally, to learn more about how other states use post-secondary outcomes data, please see a summary of best practices at our website.